Hello, it's Chrisanne and welcome. Coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne and Jeff. And today, with this new moon energy that we have going on right now, we're going to be making this lovely moon piece. So, super simple, but we're going to be using a gel plate to create this moon behind these. So, let's get started talking about what we're going to need for these. So, let me show you. So we can do a card version. Let me just show you the two versions and I'll show you what we need. And then my pieces, I mat and I sell them this way. So you can do the larger one. This is the unmatted version, or you can do a smaller one in a card. So you're going to need the gel plate. So we have either the 3 or the 4-inch gel plate. 3-inch for the card, 4-inch for the matted piece. Gel plates come in bigger sizes. They come in other shapes, etc. We are also going to need a brayer. We are also going to need some paper. And let me show you real quick how we're going to, whoops, that one's already got a thing stamped on it. Let me grab some paper up here. So let's grab our paper cutter. This is the Tonic Tim Holtz paper cutter. Is not the bigger one. So look it, I added some extra measurements here. That's it. Simple. That's all we need to do. Cut an 8.5 and 11, okay, 8.5 and 11 by in half. So we have our paper, we have our brayer, we have our gel plates. We're also going to need VersaFine Clair, the Nocturne color, and also the Bluebell or any color that you want. For the gel plates, I am using Catherine Pooler inks. So you can either do It's a Boy, Suede Shoes, Something Borrowed, or Fiesta Blue. I'm going to show you examples of all four. The other thing that you're going to need is a smoothie. You're going to need the Jelly Roll glitter, the black pan micron, your choice. Going to need brushos. Brushos are watercolors that are a crystal color. I deal with crystals. I'm a crystal person. So, of course, I'm going to use crystal watercolors. These are a powdered, whoopsie, you make a mess with them. So, it's a powdered product that you mix with water. And there's a lot that you can get out of these. This is going to last a long time. So the stamps that we're using today, of course, we're using Lavinia Stamps. And we're using Raven, which I've already got mounted to a clear acrylic block. If you want some added tree decorations, you can use Forest Scene or Fir Tree 1. Those are my suggestions. And of course, I'm getting all my products from delbillowsdesigns.com. Talk to Patty there. She's fantastic. We're also using some infinity dies. Not necessary. I'll show you what I do with that afterwards. And then you're going to need, this is like a buddy plate. And this has all of my brushos mixed with water. So we've got an orange, we've got 2 different yellows, we've got a purple, and we've got 2 different blues. We're also going to be using a fan brush, and I have some water off screen here that you can't see right now. So let's get started with showing you how to use the gel plates. So this is what the gel plates are going to look like. This is the baby blue. No, I'm sorry. This is the It's a Boy. Sorry. That's what the It's a Boy background looks like. This is the suede shoes. There's more suede shoes. Let's see. Fiesta Blue and the Something Borrowed. So those are examples of what we're going to be doing. I create those before I do my stamping. In this case, we're going to be using the 4-inch gel plate. When I'm working with my gel plates, I like to put a full-size piece of paper down. And the reason is I take this paper afterwards and I put it in my junk journal. These gel plates come with clear acetate. Simply take it off, stick it to the paper. It will stay stuck there for a while. Let's move these papers out of the way. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use the It's a Boy. When I'm using the Catherine Pooler inks, because it's an oval, it's a little trickier with my brayer. I am simply inking it up right here in the middle. I don't want to ink up the entire pad because the edges of this, being oval as opposed to rectangle, will show up on my brayer. That's all I do. And then I am gently going over this a couple times to even out lines. I don't want lines on my gel plate. So there. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to tap in to our brushos. So let's get our fan brush, tap off a little bit of the water. I like to go in the orange first, and I'm not able to just tap, tap, tap away at these. I tap it off while I'm tapping on something else. Let's get this where you can see it. And I'm kind of coming around the edge. Going into my yellow, take a little bit of that off. I don't clean my brush in between. I'm putting the yellow in the middle. Come into my other yellow, tap a little bit of that off, tap it off on my paper. You can see this outside paper is getting decorated too. Come into one of my blues, take some of those bigger dots off so that when I come here on the edge, I'm getting some smaller dots. Come into my other blue, take off some of those dots, come around the edge, tap into my purple, take off some of those larger dots, and then I'm coming around the edge here. It is as simple as that. Go ahead and cover your brushos before you move on to anything else, but for the sake of time, we're not going to. Let's take our 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that we've cut in half, lightly touch it to the gel plate. When you touch your paper to the gel plate, it's almost sticky, so it grips your paper. So let's get these guys out of the way. We're done with that. Let's do the big reveal. Sometimes I get these little dots from this. Don't worry about it. It's going to either be cut off if you're going to make a card, or it's going to be hidden if you're going to mat your piece like I do. So now let's go ahead and stamp this. And I have said many times that since I am using an unmounted stamp on an acrylic block, there's no cushion. So I like to use a mouse pad as a cushion underneath my paper. In this case, I like to hold my paper going this way. I'm going to be stamping Raven, and she is sitting on a branch. I like that branch to be off to the side, not kind of hanging out in space. So that branch, let me get you one and show you. That branch looks like it's going behind my mat. So let's do that. Let's place it in a position that it would be behind my mat. So when I have my stamp, I'm kind of making sure my branch is straight, because I like her sitting on a straight branch. I pull it over just a little bit so I can hide that branch behind my mat. Let's give this a little push, still holding it quite firm, quite secure to my paper. If you have a stamping platform, by all means, go ahead and use your stamping platform. Mine is on order, not here yet. So let's give this a lift. Looking great. Let me show you another trick that I do, and this is why I have the micron pen here. Just to be on the safe side, I like to add a little bit of an extra branch here. This is mostly going to be hidden anyways by my matting. If I was making a card, some of that would be cut off. So there's that so far. Next thing that we're going to do is I colored the background blue. So let's go ahead and do that. And I used the Bluebell, First Find Clair Bluebell. What I did is I took my infinity dies. I chose the one that fit this size, and I ran that through my die cut machine. So I had a piece of paper that fit that size to work as a mask. So I have this masked off, so I can come in and I want a lighter application of blue. So normally what I would do is tap into my blue, tap off on my glass mat, and then go ahead and do this. I have enough ink on this because I have used it enough that there is enough ink here, whoops, that this is a finer application of this. I want it soft. I don't need it so harsh with the blue in the background. You can almost barely see it. I know it looks like a hot mess, but trust me, that's going to be hidden. I just don't like this right here. I would probably come in and add a little bit more to kind of even that little splotch out right there. So there. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and this is the hardest part of the whole thing, I'm going to take my Jelly Rolls Cura glitter pen, and I'm going to go around the edge of my moon. When I'm creating a piece that's going to be matted, I like to add a lot of detail. Here, if you have sewn before, you put the needle down and you move the fabric. It's the same way when you're working with this. This is the absolute hardest part of all of this because you have to keep a relatively steady hand. And I'm sorry if my hand, whoops, oh darn. Yeah, that's because I tried to move it. So let's come around this way. In all honesty, I'll probably stamp something over that because I don't like that. But let's come in and let's add some detail. You know, everything can be fixed when you're working with stamps. So don't worry about it. In fact, let's grab a, oh, here's my little thing. Let's grab a dragonfly. And we're gonna just stamp him in the VersaFine Clair because I don't like that glitter that happened right there. So let's stamp him here. And then I add glitter to my dragonflies anyways, so I can kind of incorporate it. I probably should have positioned it a little bit better. So we're going to continue to glitter the wings and add some more detail there. There, that's a little bit better. It's hard when you're rushed and you're doing a 15-minute video. So what I would do is I would come in and I would mat it. And there you can see we've got that covered. See how we came in and we added a little bit of our pen here. So that's covered. That's it. So like I said, if you wanted to stamp some trees, you could stamp some of these trees down here. You could also stamp this tree, which is the forest scene. You could stamp some of these down here. That's nice. This is a piece that I created before and I sold, and somebody wants another one of these. So I've been making quite a few of these tonight so I can have a variety to show her. So that's our finished piece. It's super, super simple. It's really easy to work with a gel plate. So get out your gel plates, use your Catherine Pooler inks, and use a whole variety of colors. Use what you've got. So once again, the stamps are from delbellowsdesigns.com. My art is available on my website, chrisanne-jeff.com. Let me know in the comments if there's a technique that you would like to see. I have a lot of videos planned and I'm doing a video a day and I'm trying to get a whole bunch of techniques done, but everything has to be done in 15 minutes. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something tonight and I hope you had fun. Enjoy that new moon energy and manifest what it is that you want to bring in, because this is the time for 2 weeks before the full moon comes. So happy manifesting and thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Be free.